All right, good morning and welcome to this active flow and breathwork class. My name is Brian and I am honored and delighted to be here with you today. Today's class is just going to be an exploration. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, I just got distracted. My favorite CEO is here with us today. We're honored and delighted to have the founder, I'm not the founder, excuse me, the leader of our organization with us today. So Brianna's with us. Don't worry, that doesn't change your practice at all. You're still in the privacy of your own space by design, so don't let that worry you. And as always, remember that our first guiding principle, support precedes action. So ensure that you have all of your supports available for yourself: blocks, straps, bolsters, blankets, eye shades, maybe a chair, whatever you need, maybe some tissues, clear your passageways, whatever you need to support yourself in your practice here this morning. Make sure you have that available. And today's practice, as I said, is just going to be an exploration of some vinyasa type movement. We're going to do some warm up, and then we'll begin to open up the body in different ways with different postures. We'll come back to our seated posture and do a little breath work, and then we'll go into our guided rest. We'll probably be here about 45 minutes all told, depending upon how much I can keep it together for that. So as always, we'll begin here by landing. We'll raise some gratitude. We'll come into the present moment. We'll set our intention, and then we'll begin. So with that in mind, I invite you now to find a posture of support, whatever that looks like for you, whatever form that takes for you. Take a moment to bring yourself into yourself. Come into this place. Come into this space. Find your posture of support, whatever that looks like, and feel into your supports. So how do you do that? Feel into whatever part of your body is in contact with something. Maybe your feet are flat on the floor, underneath your knees, hip distance apart. Maybe the sides of your calves and feet are on the floor if you're seated cross-legged as I am. Maybe you can feel your sits bones, the pointy bones at the base of your hip girdle, rooting down into a cushion or a mat or the chair seat. Maybe you have arms on your chair, you feel your forearms and elbows resting on the arms. Maybe you're lying on your back, you feel the full support of your back. Maybe you have your legs up the wall, you feel the full support of the legs. Wherever your body is in contact with something, feel into the physical sensation of that connection. And then open your awareness to the possibility that that physical sensation of connection is support. What is it like to be supported in this moment? And then having established support, I'll invite you to lengthen through your side body, lengthen through your spine, lengthen through your crown. Experiment with tucking the chin to feel the release at the back of the neck, and then feel the full length of the spine from the base to the crown. And then notice what shifts in your body as the spine elongates and aligns. Perhaps feel the energy body engage. Perhaps feel the chest expand and the heart open. Just notice for yourself what happens for you when you elongate and align the spine. And then I'll invite us to come into the present moment, and we do that by coming into the body. And we come into the body by coming into the breath. So bring your awareness to your breath. Begin to breathe in and out through the nostrils, following the inhalation all the way in, and the exhalation all the way out. And holding your awareness right there, find the next inhale as it arrives just when it is needed, and follow that inhale in. And that exhale in. And continue to be right there at the beginning of each inhale, noticing perhaps that there is no need to take the breath, that the breath is freely given and need only be received. So receive that breath and be present with it. And on your next inhale, I invite you to float your hands to your heart in a way that brings awareness to your heart space, perhaps left hand over the heart, right hand over the left, perhaps the hands in prayer, thumb knuckles resting lightly on the breastbone. And then feel into the connection of your hands and your chest. Feel the heat of your hands on the chest. Feel the beat of the heart beneath the hands. Notice perhaps how the rhythm of the heart beating begins to align with the rhythm of the breath. And turning your awareness to your heart space, I invite you to allow to arise gratitude. any one thing for which you are grateful, maybe today just the possibility of gratitude. See for yourself clearly whatever arises when gratitude is summoned and called for. And then whatever it is that you're grateful for, whatever it is that arises for you, I invite you to anchor that gratitude right there in your heart space. And then finally this morning, before we start, I'll invite you to, if you choose, to set an intention for your practice, perhaps a simple intention to just keep your gratitude anchored in your heart space, or to just be right there at the beginning of each inhale. But whatever your intention is, I invite you to state it to yourself. Hear yourself in your mind's ear as you state your intention in a clear and declarative voice, as if it is already done. And then listen as the echoes of your intention reverberate in your being. And I'll invite you finally to take a full inhale. And as you exhale, if you choose to, allow your chin to drop to your grateful and intentional heart and offer a benediction to seal your intention as I say, Namo, Namaste. Then lift chin, drop the hands, take a full inhale. And a complete exhale, and then make your way to your mat. We're going to begin on our backs today. So come down onto your mat on your back. And we'll begin to just find ourselves here. So releasing long on the mat. Feel the full support of the backside, the full backside of your body being supported on the mat. Bring your toes and heels together towards the ceiling. Your hands come down by your side, palms down. Take a full inhale. And a complete exhale. On your next inhale, take the arms over the head. Interlock the thumb. Either way, it doesn't matter. As you inhale, press through the heels and lengthen through the fingers and the crown as you bring the toes back toward the face. And feel that full length of the backside of your body as you stretch. Opening, good morning stretch here. Breathe in. And exhale, release the toes to neutral. Switch the interlock of the thumb. On your next inhale, lengthen through the fingers and press the toes away from the face. Another good morning stretch. This time feel the length of top front of your body. Full inhale. And complete exhale, release the toes, release the hands down by the side. Bring the knees toward the ceiling and the feet toward the hips. Now the feet are parallel with the hips, knees stay in alignment. Take your arms a little wider so you have a little room, and then just gently allow your knees to fall in the same direction. So keep the knees together as you exhale, and then as you inhale, bring the knees back. It's very gentle, very neutral here. Not overdoing anything, exhaling down to one side, inhaling back to center, just opening up the hips a little bit. A little movement here. Maybe morning, maybe you're still not fully awake and aware yet. Maybe you're well into your day. Either way, just be nice to yourself. Practice being kind to yourself here. Just finding a way to open the body. We're going to move the hips several different ways today because we're going to probably get into the hips a little bit. One more time in each direction here. Moving with your breath in these simple movements. And then you next inhale to center. Go ahead and bring the knees into the chest. Feet come high. Grab the knees just below the knees and squeeze your knees toward your chest. And then maybe rock side to side a little bit. Finding a little release. Now bring your hands down next to your hips, palms down. For additional support, you can bring your thumbs lightly under the sits bones. For even more support, bring the back of your palms under the SI joint at the top of the buttocks. Well, we're just going to be here for a minute. Bring the knees out over the hips so you have 90-degree angle there. Shins are parallel. We're just going to inhale. Gently take the feet away from the face. Maybe just hovering the toes at the end of the inhale. And on the exhale, bring the knees back in toward the chest. And again, begin to just do this at your pace, your rhythm, your breath, and your practice. Just feeling into what it's like to move the body with the breath. The movement starts when the inhale starts and ends when the inhale ends, and vice versa on the exhale. Just being in this gentle, simple movement. Opening up and waking up. Couple more here. Just gently waking up here this morning. Okay. On your next exhale, bring the knees in, reach up and squeeze, rock a little side to side, and then release the feet to the mat. Okay, now we're going to move add a little bit of backside. So maybe bring your heels a little closer to your hips, but feel as if you can press into your feet. And support here comes from pressing into the feet. As you press into the feet, you may feel the pelvic bowl begin to tilt a little bit. And that's the movement we're looking for here. And then continue to press into the feet, engage through the core, and begin to roll up into the lower back. So the buttocks will lift off the mat. And if you like, continue to roll up into the middle back, maybe bringing the belly button towards the ceiling. And maybe even roll up into the upper back. No weight in the head or neck here. Where does it work is in the shoulders, belly button lifts. This is our bridge. We're going to pulse the bridge a little bit. So find your bridge, stabilize here, rotate the thighs inward so that the knees stay parallel. And then inhale, shine a little brighter, maybe lift a little higher. And then as you exhale, slowly roll back down, bringing the buttocks down till they're just hovering over the mat. And then work with your breath. Inhale up. And exhale down, your rhythm. Your pace, your breath, your practice. Movement with breath, just aligning here, activating now a little bit through the hamstrings and the glutes, up into the QL or the lower back muscles here. The core is engaged as you lift the belly button toward the ceiling. Maybe you feel a little heat, starting to generate a little heat here, waking up for the day. One more time here. And when you are ready, inhale up. And just maintain here for a moment. So continue to breathe, but hold the posture. We hold the posture, but not the breath. So long, deep inhales, full yogic breath down into the body cavity. Complete exhales, feel into the balance of the posture for yourself. This is your bridge. We're a bridge between the heavens and the earth. Allow yourself to be here. Full inhale. Exhale, slowly roll down. And as find your spine supported on the mat, bring the knees back into the chest, reach up and squeeze, side to side. All right, going to open the side body a little bit here. So take the legs long, cross the left ankle over the right. And then walk the feet over to the lower right corner of your mat. Take your arms overhead, interlock the thumb either direction, and then walk your hands over to the upper right corner of your mat. So you're creating a little side bend here. You're opening up the left side body. Big C shape here, big curvature here. Gentle opening along that side body. Breathe in. Breathe out. A full inhale. A complete exhale. One more breath here, full inhalation. Long through the fingers and toes. Exhale, release. Bring it back to neutral, come back to center. Switch the ankles, right crosses over left. Switch the interlock of the thumbs. Take the feet to the lower left corner of your mat. The arms to the upper left corner of your mat. And now you're opening up in the reverse. See that right side body, gentle bend, gentle opening. Breathing in, full inhale. And complete exhale. Inhale here. And exhale. A full inhalation. And a complete exhale. We come back to center. Release the feet. Ankles uncrossed, bring the hands down by the sides. Now I got one more here. We're going to work the core with the side body here. So I'll bring the knees in up toward the ceiling, the heels in toward the hips. Now your fingertips may brush your ankles, maybe they grasp, maybe you can reach them, maybe not, maybe you're just in the same area code. It's all good. Now you have options here. One, you can keep the entirety of your lower back on the mat. That's fully supported here. And we're just simply going to reach with the fingers on the exhale toward the heel or the mid step or the toes on each side. So it's a side to side movement. For a little bit more, lift, engage the core, lengthen through the crown, feel your head and maybe even your shoulders come up off the mat. Your choice. Support yourself as you need in your practice. This is the inhalation position in the center. And then as you exhale, you're just simply going to reach for your ankle or mid step or toe. Inhale back to center, and same thing on the other side. Reach for the ankle, the mid-step, or the toe. Your rhythm, your pace, your breath, your practice. Engaging the obliques and side body. The core is engaged here. Now, if you have tension in your neck, you need to relax that. We're not trying to use the muscles in the neck. We're working side to side here. Couple more. And inhale back to center. If you've lifted the shoulders and the neck, release them down. Bring the knees into the chest. Squeeze and rock as you need to release that movement. I'm going to let the legs go long and roll to your belly, either direction, doesn't matter. Coming onto your belly. Bring the tops of the feet on toward the mat. Toes are pointed long toward the bottom of your mat. Arms come down by your side, palms up. Chin, nose, or forehead to the mat. And we're going to work this we're going to work this in sequences. Okay, so we're simply going to lengthen through the toes and the crown. And as you lengthen, you may feel the chin or nose or face begin to lift. Continuing to lengthen, you may actually feel the shoulders come up. Work the shoulders away from the ears, fingers toward the bottom of your mat, but keep your hands down for support. So tops of the feet are engaged. Maybe you feel the knees engaged. Lengthening, maybe you feel the chest lift. Supported locust here. Just breathe. Full inhale. Complete exhale. Now stay here. Or if you like, you can lift the leg. Or both legs. Or the other leg if you just want to switch legs. And then finally, if you like, lengthen the fingers and feel the arms lift. Full locust here, breathing. Full inhale. Complete exhale. Inhale here. Exhale, get long. Notice tendency to rock here. Maybe resist that. Full inhalation. Exhale, let everything come back down. Turn the cheek ear to the mat. Relax and take a breath. Releasing, full inhalation. Let everything settle. Inhale here. And exhale. Bring your hands underneath the shoulders, thumbs at the breast line. Again, bring the nose, chin, or face or forehead toward the mat. Lengthen through the tops of the feet and finger and toes. And then begin to lift through the crown. Maybe the heart comes forward. Little to no pressure in the hands here. Maybe you have a light support with the fingertips. Maybe you even pick up the hands. Again, pressing through the tops of the feet, feel the knees engaged. This is your cobra, low cobra. Inhale here. And we're going to pulse this. So exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, lower. We're just going to do a couple of these. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, lower. One more here. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, lower, release the hands by the hips, palms up. Turn your opposite ear or cheek to the mat and let everything settle here as you integrate. Full inhalation. We work between effort and ease here. So this is the ease. Be easy, at ease. Full inhale. Complete exhale. As you inhale, bring the hands under the shoulders again, thumb at the breast line. Toes will begin to press into the ball of the feet. So wrap the toes, press into the ball of the feet, press into the fingertips. Feel the knees engage and lift. Feel the shoulders and lats begin to engage, lengthen through the crown, and slowly press through the heels and lengthen through the crown as you press up into your plank posture. So full inhalation here. Check your hips, not too low, not too high. We're long from the heels through the crown. Pressing down through the heels, lengthening through the crown. We're in our plank. Full inhale here. Exhale. Lift the hips toward the ceiling and back toward the wall behind you. Let the head drop so that the crown comes toward the mat. Biceps spraying the ears, pressing out of the fingers and the heel of the palm, lengthening through the forearms. Heels drop toward the bottom of your mat. This is your down dog. Take a moment here to find your dog. Maybe adjust your feet so they're in alignment with your wrists. Maybe bend one knee and press back through the opposite heel, feeling the length in the back of that leg, back of the body. Switch with your breath, bend the other knee, press back through the other heel. Finding that length. And then maybe lifting both heels and allowing both heels to drop toward the bottom of the mat. Full inhale here as you find your dog. Complete exhale. Feel into this posture. This is our home page posture. We'll come back here. Anytime we come back here, we'll take a breath or two to stabilize. Check in with your gratitude and your intention that you anchored in your heart space. Full inhale here. Look up between the hands. On the exhale, bring the left foot forward between the hands. Help it if you need to. Drop your right knee in the top of your right foot. Now, as you inhale, press into the left heel and down into the right knee, stabilizing yourself in this posture, engaging the core. Maybe you pick up your hands. Maybe you bring your hands to your knee. Maybe you straighten your arms to support lifting your torso. Maybe on your inhale, you take your arms up, finding your arm position. Maybe hooking the thumbs, pressing the palms, interlacing the fingers, whatever's right for you. Maybe not. Maybe your arms are just wide. This is your thing. Look up as you inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sink in. Full inhale here. Exhale, bring the hands down. Frame the foot. Curl the toes of the right foot. Lift the right knee. Step back and press back, downward facing dog. Take a full inhale. A complete exhale. Inhale, look up between the hands. Exhale, bring the right foot forward, help it if you need to. Drop the left knee in the top of the left foot. Find your balance and stability, engage your core. Pick up the hands, maybe coming through the knee, opposite hand underneath, straightening the arms. Inhale, take the arms up. Find your arm position. Exhale, sink in. Full inhale here, maybe look up, see your thumbs. Exhale. This is your low lunge. Breathe. Full inhale. Exhale. Bring the hands down, frame the foot, curl the toes, lift the left knee, step back, press back, downward facing dog. A full inhalation. A complete exhale. Adding on if you like. Inhale, look up between the hands. Exhale, left foot forward. Option to drop the right knee again, or maybe you stay lifted in the right knee this time. Pressing back through that right heel. Again, finding your balance, engaging your core. Bring your hands, maybe utilize the knee. Support yourself as you come up. Inhale the arms up and come into your lunge. Crescent, full inhale. Exhale, sink in, press back to that right heel, lift that right thigh. Inhale here. Exhale, bring the hands down, frame the foot, steps back, press back, downward facing dog. Full inhale. Complete exhale. Inhale, look up between the hands. Exhale, right foot forward. Again, option to drop the left knee or staying lifted in the left knee. Find your balance and engage yourself, support yourself as you come up into your crescent. A full inhale. Exhale, sinking. Inhale here. Exhale. Hands down, frame the foot. Step back, press back, downward facing dog. Full inhalation. Complete exhale. One more time, I'm going to add a twist now. Inhale, look up between the hands. Exhale, left foot forward, right knee down if you like. Pressing back, inhale, rise up, find your lunge, your version of lunge. Exhale, sink in. Inhale, get long here. Exhale, bring the hands to the front of the chest and rotate the torso to the left, bringing the right elbow to the left knee or outside the left thigh. Stack the hands at the front of the chest, press back through that left heel. Stack the shoulders, breathe. Full inhale. Complete exhale. At the bottom of the exhale, maybe a little space, maybe not. Inhale here. Exhale, rotate back to center, release the hands, step back, press back, downward facing dog. Full inhalation. Complete exhale. Inhale, look up between the hands. Exhale, right foot forward. Again, option to drop the left knee. Find your balance. Find your lunge. Inhale up. Exhale, sink in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hands to prayer. Rotate the torso to the right. Left elbow to the right knee or outside the right thigh. Palms press in the front of the chest. Shoulders stack. Breathing here. Full inhale. Complete exhale. Maybe at the bottom of the exhale, a little space, maybe not. Full inhalation. Exhale. Torso to center. Release the hands. Step back, press back, down facing dog. A full inhale. A complete exhale. Inhale here. Exhale. Drop the knees and press the hips back toward the heels, coming into your wisdom pose. Child's pose. Is there wisdom in this pose? Release the forehead. Great place for your supports. If your forehead doesn't naturally reach the floor, maybe you just put your block underneath there at whatever height is appropriate for you. Breathing into this. Maybe you rock a little side to side on your forehead, massaging temple to temple. Maybe press lightly into your fingertips, pressing the hips back to the heels. Maybe you bring your hands back by your feet, palms up, full expression of the pose, releasing completely, freeing up the lower back and the shoulders. Full inhale here. Complete exhale. On your inhale, bring the arms forward. On the exhale, press forward into table, curl the toes, lift the hips, press back, downward facing dog. A full inhale and down dog. A complete exhale. Inhale into a plank and then check yourself. So maybe you find you had to adjust your hands a little bit as I did in order to be in your supported plank. Inhale here. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. A full inhalation. A complete exhale. Inhale here. On the exhale, just walk your feet forward gently, bringing the feet between the hands, coming into our first forward fold.
Take a moment here to find your forward fold. Take a breath, a full inhale, and then release the head, release the hands, release. Check your, no tension in the back of your neck, so maybe lightly shake your head. No tension in my neck. Maybe just nod your head. Yes, I have released my head. Be here. Now, let's find our posture first. So bring the palms to the shins for support. As you inhale, straighten the arms, bring the torso flat. So the torso is parallel to the mat. Breathe in behind the heart. Get long through the crown. Full inhale here, hips press back, and crown goes long. Exhale, release into forward fold. Release the hands down by the feet. And if you can, take your pointer and middle finger and bring them inside the big toe. Take your thumb and bring them outside. Now, if your hands don't reach your feet, just grasp your thighs. Your shins or your ankles. And support yourself that way. Inhale, lengthen through the crown, press back through the hips, flat back. Full inhale behind the heart. Exhale, forward fold, and utilize the support of your arms, bending the elbows outward toward the wide edges of your mat, bringing your forehead toward your shins, supported forward fold. Full inhale here, relaxing the shoulders, lifting out of the waist, out of the lower back, out of the crown. The crown is falling toward the mat. Breathing here. Complete exhale. Full inhalation. A complete exhale. One more time here. Inhale here. Exhale, fold. Find your fold. Now gently release the hands. And then as you inhale, you're slowly going to roll up. So press through the feet. Maybe bend the knees a little to feel how you engage through the feet, and then press up through the feet and roll the torso upright one vertebra at a time, saving the head and neck for last. As the torso comes upright, the shoulders will naturally roll up and down. Hands will fall alongside the hips, palms forward, fingers extending toward the mat. Chin lifts parallel to the mat. Crown gets long. Lengthen through the side body, lengthen through the crown. Find your gazing point just beyond the tip of your nose, something that's not moving. This is your mountain posture. Take a moment to adjust to being upright. Been doing some inversions here. Now all that blood that was coming to the head, fresh blood to the head, now returning to the heart. What is the message? Feel into your heart space, check in with your gratitude and intention. Find yourself here. We're going to move through, sequence through a sun salutation. So on the inhale, and take the arms up. Now just stay here for a moment. Full inhale, get long, find your arm position. Maybe your arms are wide, maybe your hands pressed, maybe your thumbs interlock, maybe interlace the fingers, steeple the index finger, whatever's right for you. Find your length here. Full inhale, straight line lift, no back bend. Straight line lift, inhale here. On your exhale, press back through the hips as if you're pushing your hips back to the wall behind you. Bring your hands down through prayer. Hinge at the hips and forward fold. Take a breath here to find your forward fold. Full inhale. Complete exhale. Release the forehead. Release the crown. Now we're going to inhale to that flat back, supported or not. Maybe your hands to shins, maybe your hands at prayer, whatever's right for you. Lengthening through the crown and pushing back to the hips, breathing behind the heart. Find this position. This is your inhale position. Exhale here. A full inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Again, take a breath. Full inhalation. Exhale, release. On the inhale, slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. Gathering as you go, you come all the way to tall mountain. And then exhale, release the hands into your mountain posture. Palms forward, fingers long. Feel as if you're moving your hips slightly to the front of your mat. Feel as if you're moving the back of your palms slightly to the back of your mat. Feel yourself full line upright here.
Mountain posture. Every time we come to mountain, we're going to take an extra breath to stabilize, checking in with our gratitude and our intention. On your next inhale, take the arms up. One movement, one breath. On the exhale, hinge and fold, forward fold. On the inhale, a flat back. On the exhale, we fold and we place the hands beside the feet and step one foot back and then the other foot back to join it. Inhale to a plank. So again, check your length from heel to crown. Find yourself in your plank. On our inhale, we get long. On our exhale, we drop the knees, chest, chin, or we just reverse push up and we come all the way down to the mat, releasing the tops of the feet and the forehead. Take a moment here to feel into being fully supine, supported along the whole front side of your body. On your next inhale, we're going to lift the crown, press into the tops of the feet, find that little cobra position that we found earlier. Take a moment and a breath here to find this. Full inhale. A complete exhale. On our next inhale, we're going to curl the toes, press into the palms and lift the hips up and back, releasing the head, pressing the chest and stomach back toward the thighs, releasing the heels, coming to downward dog. And again, find the dog, full inhalation to stabilize. Complete exhale. On the inhale, look up between the hands. On the exhale, bring one foot forward and then the other to join it and come to forward fold. Take a breath here to be in forward fold. Full inhale. Complete exhale. On the inhale, we come to that flat back position. So find yourself there. Take an extra breath to stabilize. Make sure you know where your postures are, right? We want to land in these spots, checking ourselves as we move through. And then exhale, release. And then inhale, we roll up one vertebra at a time through tall mountain, gathering as we go, greeting the sun. And exhale, bring the hands to prayer, and then release them alongside the hips. Mountain posture, take a breath. Now we're going to put that all together. One movement, one breath. Inhale, arms up, tall mountain. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, flat back, breathe behind the heart. Exhale, fold, hands beside the feet. Step, hop, or float back. Inhale to your plank. Exhale, lower down, your choice. Knees, chest, chin, or reverse push-up. Inhale, come to cobra. Exhale, curl the toes, press the hips up and back, find your down dog. Take an extra breath in down dog. Full inhale. Complete exhale. Inhale, look up between the hands. Exhale, bring the feet forward into your forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root and rise, gathering as you go. Exhale, release the hands. Find your mountain posture, taking that extra breath in mountain to reconnect and recenter. Steady and sure here. One more with cadence. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, walk, step, or float back. Lower down. All one breath. Combination move there. Inhale, rise up. Your choice. Maybe you're ready to come into up dog as opposed to cobra. Exhale, press back down facing dog. Take a breath. Full inhale. Complete exhale. Inhale, look up between the hands. Exhale, walk, step, or float forward. Forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Tall mountain. Exhale, release, mountain posture. 2 more of those at your own rhythm, your own pace, moving with your breath. Just find your flow. Greet the sun. Sun Salutation A. Sun, Surya, Namaskar A. Sun Salutation. Yielding into your rhythm, moving with your breath, your practice, your mat, your body, your day, your flow. Remembering it, each down dog and each mountain, we take an extra breath just to recenter and establish ourselves, reconnecting with our gratitude and with our intention. We get to do this. Other folks are working, struggling to survive, challenged with their lives. We get to do this. How grateful are we? Moving with breath, aligning with intention, being in our practice. We'll meet up at the top of the mat in our mountain posture, taking a moment to center in, feeling into ourselves. Where are we here? Lovely, right on time. All right. We're going to come down onto our back on our mat for our twist. Simple twist today. So extend the legs long, lengthen through the crown. Feel yourself supported. Again, feel the support along the full back side of the body. And then bring the knees in toward the ceiling and the heels toward the hips. Take the left leg and press it up so that the heel is pressed toward the ceiling. Maybe help it by reaching behind the hamstring or behind the knee or behind the calf and gently bring the knee in toward your face. Create a little space in between the hips. Inhale here. As you exhale, cross the left thigh tightly atop the right. So you're pressing the hamstring into the quad. That left foot is outside the right calf. Maybe it hooks around if you have that flexibility. Take the arms out to create space, 60 to 90 degrees. Inhale here. Exhale, gently allow the knees to fall over to the left as you gently look over your right shoulder. So that right shoulder is going to stay relaxed and down. And it's not so much about the knees moving toward the floor as it is about the knees moving away from the face so that you're opening across the front of the body and breathing into that lower back right hip. Full inhale. And allowing the twist to happen. Listen to the wisdom of your own body. Your body will tell you what it needs and wants. Pay attention and honor that. Full inhale here. Complete exhale. Full inhalation. Complete exhale. On the inhale, bring the knees back to neutral, the head back to neutral. Take the left leg up again, press through the heel, reach up behind the leg, maybe open a little bit, and then release the left leg long. Then bring the left knee back in toward the ceiling, the left heel toward the hip. Notice the difference. And then take the right leg, press the heel to the ceiling, reach up behind the right hamstring, right knee or right calf, and then bring that knee in toward the face, opening up some space. Inhale here. Exhale, cross that right thigh tightly and tuck the left. Right foot outside left calf, they're hooking, arms open. Inhale long, feel your spine on the mat. Exhale, allow the knees to gently fall across the body to the right as you look over your left shoulder. And again, we're not pressing or forcing, we're allowing gravity and the weight of the legs to do the work. And if we have a thought, it's about taking the knees away from the face as we open across the front of the body and breathe deeply into that back left hip. Full inhale. Complete exhale. Full inhalation. A complete exhale. Inhale here. Exhale. On your next inhale, bring the knees back to neutral, head back to neutral. Take that right leg, press the heel high toward the ceiling, reach up and grab. And then exhale, release the right leg long. Release the left leg long to join it. Let your toes fall open. Take your heels as wide as is comfortable for you on your mat. Bring your hands fall down by your hips, palms up, lengthen through the crown. And then imagine you could pull down on your side ribs so that you feel your lower back on the mat. You want to feel the full length of your spine supported on the mat here. Take a moment here to just feel yourself fully supported on the back side of your body. And then we're going to do a pattern interrupt breath and then move into our guided rest. So the pattern is going to be a simple 4-part inhale, 4-part exhale. So you're breathing through the nostrils and you're breaking the inhale into 4 equal parts. So it doesn't have to be audible. I'm going to exaggerate for effect here so you can hear it. It sounds like this. And then you pause. And then you'll exhale in 4 equal sniffs out. And then you pause at the end of the exhale. This is center, and then begin again, and just continue. Now, again, you're just allowing the breath to come and go, so you don't necessarily have to exaggerate and make that noise. Maybe you're seeing how silent you can be, but you're just focused on the little bit of pattern interrupting, paying attention to the breath, breaking the normal pattern of breathing by changing the inhale into 4 parts, the exhale into 4 parts, and continuing at your rhythm, your pace, your breath, your practice in your space. And just continue with the pattern. We'll just be here for a couple minutes with the pattern, and then we'll just let the pattern go and we'll slide right into our guided rest. So 4-part inhale. Pausing at the top and at the bottom. 4-part exhale. Pausing at the bottom and the top. Awareness on the breath. The body is very still. Awareness is on the breath in the nostrils. If you're comfortable doing so, your eyes are closed and you're focused at the brow point. And if you like your eyes to be narrowed but open, you're just focusing on something not moving just beyond the tip of your nose, just being very still here. Allowing the body to be supported and just focusing on its little breath. Not overthinking anything, not overanalyzing, just being aware of your breathing. Let your next iteration be your last iteration of the pattern, so that when you finish your pause at the bottom of your exhale, you just let the pattern go and allow yourself to be. Your final posture here, guided rest. We're just resting. Just allowing ourselves to be done. We're done, be done. Just allow yourselves to sink into the supports that are available to you. Allow yourself to let go and just be. Allow yourself to just feel into the state of gratitude for the rest that you are giving yourself. Allow your body to just feel what it feels from a rest state. Allow everything that you've done to integrate into your being. Allow your mind to be. Notice your mind probably tends to wander. That is the nature of the mind, to wander. Just allow it to do so. Just be curious. Allow. No attachment, no aversion, no clinging, no pushing away. Just notice without judgment what's happening in your body, what's happening in your mind, what's happening in your emotions, what's happening in your psyche, what's happening in your spiritual connection. Just be with yourself for a minute. Give yourself this gift, this opportunity to just be. To just allow yourself to let everything go by. Taking this time for yourself. Granting yourself this freedom for this moment to just be, just as you are. And we'll continue to explore the awesome power of rest in silence for the next couple minutes. Perhaps you notice that your attention has wandered away from your intention. If so, I invite you to bring gratitude to that notice, and then gently and compassionately return your focus to your breath. Perhaps begin to reacclimate to your body by wiggling your fingers and your toes, maybe rolling your ankles and your wrists. Begin to prepare for reorientation by bringing your knees toward the ceiling, your heels toward your hips, and extending your right arm alongside your head, bicep by the ear. When you are ready, and only when you are ready, slowly roll to your right side, allowing that arm to cradle your head and neck. Take a moment and a few breaths here on your right side to reorient yourself to your connection to your body and to the earth, establishing yourself. When you are ready, bring your left arm in front of your chest and utilize your left arm for support as you lever yourself back to a seated posture, whatever that looks like for you, whatever that means for you. Take your time, be gentle, keep your meditative state with you as you do this. Bring your heart with you as you do this. As you come back into your seat, check back in with your heart space. Maybe bringing your hands to prayer or covering the heart. Maybe allowing one more thing for which you are grateful to come to the fore. Maybe again, just the possibility of gratitude. Be aware of yourself resting in gratitude in your space. And as you rest in gratitude in your space, I'll take this opportunity to extend my sense of gratitude to you. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your practice. I'm honored to be here, truly. And as always, I invite and I encourage you to stay here in grateful rest for as long as you like. And when you do finally rise, please take your gratitude and the echoes of your practice with you as you go through the remainder of your day, lifting yourself and all that you come into contact with. Have an amazing day.